Hey, you guys, welcome to the monthly market update. We're going to be looking at July's numbers. We are here in August, in the middle of August, and it's taken me some time to come on and do this market update because I have created a new format. I am super excited about this format, you guys. It's all about evolution. It's all about growth, right? I was thinking about it because we've been doing the same market updates and I think that they're great. I think that they're informative and it really breaks it down and gives you guys some clarity. And then I started thinking to myself, how can I make it better? I'm always doing that. How can I make it better? Yes, it's more work for myself, but let me know in the comments what you think of these new slides because I feel like it can depict the story a lot better. And my hope is that we get through the information a lot more faster. And you're going to notice that it's comparing all four counties, like one trend or two trends at the same time with all four counties together. So we're looking at the bigger picture. What's up, you guys? If you guys don't know already, I'm Michelle Esquivel, broker associate with HomeSmart Evergreen Realty in Monrovia. And I help people in the San Gabriel Valley, Riverside County area, Orange County, San Bernardino. And that's why we do these market updates specifically on these counties because this is my service area. So shout out to everyone. Hope you guys are having a great day, evening, night, whenever you guys are watching it. And let's dive into the info. Take a quick pause on the video if you'd like to see the details as far as, you know, what information we're looking in because we're looking in residential single family homes only. We're not doing condos or townhomes. All right. Let's dive in. Here's the first slide. So I've separated this into segments. We're going to be looking at showings per listing. And I got my little handy dandy pen right here. Showings per listing. So how many buyers went through each listing on average? On average, 2.7 in July, which is down just a little bit from June. And how can 2.7 of a person or buyers go through it? You know, they get really technical with it, right? So how would you guys read this information? Would you guys round up to 3 or round down to 2? I think we'll just take averages, right? It's 2.7. Anything above 5, we'll call it 3. And anything below 5, we'll call it the descending number. So for this example too. So let's call this one 3. So 3 people it's taking on average in Orange County, you know, looking at each property. Now showings to contract. How many for one listing, if we think of one home that's for sale on the market, how many buyers came through on average that resulted in an offer? So on average, let's round, let's say 8. And this one too, June, 8. And this is good for home sellers to know. You know, like if 3 people saw your house and they didn't write an offer, well, the average is the 8th person writes the offer. And that's really good information to know, you know, buyer activity. Let's take a look right here, year over year. These numbers are up, which means this time last year, what was that? There was 1 person per listing coming through, maybe, and showings to contract, maybe about like 5. So let's breeze through the other counties. And if we look year over year, these numbers are up as well too. So the trend and the pattern is the same. Buyers are still out there, but they're being a little bit more picky. They're looking at more homes before writing an offer. Okay, so Orange County, 8 people to write an offer, 9 people in San Bernardino County, and 11 people in Orange County. Inventory. Okay, so let's talk about this. New listings that are coming on the market or that have came on the market in that particular month, and then active listings. How many homes, the inventory, how many homes were for sale in that particular month? So let's take a look at Los Angeles County first. So a lot of times with this market update, what I've noticed, and this is the reason why I break it down differently. What I've noticed is people say, okay, in July, there was 4,755 listings and compared to June, 4,872 listings. And if I was on your guys' end receiving this information, then I would be like, okay, well, what does that mean for me? And I don't really understand. And I got to think about it and be like, okay, well, what's the difference? In this example, the difference is 117 homes. So instead of spewing out these numbers that just leave the consumer confused, how about we spin it like this? In Los Angeles County, there were 4,755 new listings throughout the whole county, and that's 117 less than last month in June. And take a look at year over year, 7.1% down. So there were more listings that came onto the market last year. And if we look at the trend, year over year is down just about the same, except for Orange County, they're down 10%, but just about 7% year over year. So that is the pattern. So overall, there's less new listings this year than there were last year. Look at Riverside County. They had the same amount of new listings, 96 listings less, 144 listings less in Orange County. And if you guys are listening, without looking at the visual, I'll say that again, 96 listings less in San Bernardino County. All right, so let's take a look at active listings. These are all the homes that the buyers have to choose from. So listings were up in July. There were 329 more homes than there were last month. Same thing in San Bernardino. There's more homes to choose from. But look at Riverside County. There were 304 less homes than there were last month. And take a look at year over year for active listings. Those are also down. There's less inventory as there was last year. All right, let's keep moving because this whole thing is going to translate. Let's keep going. Sales activity. All right, let's take a look at the trends. So as we see here, they're down. They're down month over month across all 4 counties. In July, less pending sales. And really quick, for the first-time home buyers and first-time home sellers, or for those that kind of want to recap, pending sales, what that is these are homes that were on the market. They were active. A buyer wrote an offer and the seller said yes. There, I'm sure, was some negotiation involved before they all signed on the dotted line, but that home is now off the market and it's pending. This is the stage right before it goes to closed. So we're looking at pending sales and we're looking at closed sales. These are the ones actually, when we look at, what a home is worth and what the value range is, we give the most weight to this right here, closed sales. So pending sales are down month over month, and they're also down year over year. So that is very interesting, right? And then closed sales are also down, except for San Bernardino County. Sales are up 41%. So we're seeing a trend. And then year over year, closed sales are down too. So in the month of July, we had less closed sales and less pending sales. And let's go back to active sales. Let's get a quick refresher. Let me clear this out. Look at active listings. We have a lot more homes on the market. So that means homes are not selling because we had less pending sales and we had less closed sales. Homes are staying on the market. Okay, so this one I love because it tells us, all right, what's the average sales price and how's it doing? So the average sales price in Los Angeles County, you guys, this keeps going up and up. Last month it was 1.532. This month it's 1.586. The average sales price in Los Angeles increased by $53,000, and it's just down by 0.1% year over year. And before we get here, hold on. Let's keep going across the board because this is really what we pay attention to, right? Is what's the average sales price? Average sales price actually went down from June by 3,000, almost 4,000, and it's up 2.1% year over year. Let's jump to Orange County because there was a 35,000 increase, but it seems small relatively because the average sales price is $2,067,000. Look at that. And it's up 12.3% year over year. That's a huge increase. LA County is down 0.1% and everyone else is up. The average sales price in San Bernardino County is $605,000 and it's down $4,000 from last month and up 1% from last year. Okay. And so now let's talk about the original price received. So right here, are the sellers getting what they're asking for, or is there some negotiation going on? Let's take a look. So 99.4, and that's a little bit down from last year. I'm sorry, from last month, and it's up from last year. But look at 99.4. Yeah. So basically in Los Angeles County, sellers are pretty much getting what they're asking for. But let's take a look at Riverside, 97.6. Pretty much the same from last month and up 0.8% from last year, which is good for sellers. But, there is some negotiation going on in Riverside County on the buyer side. And if we're taking a look, if we go down, we have 98.2 in San Bernardino County. And again, 98.2 in Orange County. So buyers are having the most negotiations in Riverside County, and sellers are getting the closest to their list price in Los Angeles County. But in Orange County and San Bernardino County, that's still pretty good. And all across the board, this number is up year over year, which means sellers are getting more of what they're asking for this year than they were last year. Okay, this one I really like too, supply and demand. Who has the advantage? The buyers and the sellers. You guys, really quick, take a look right here to the right. Take a look right here, right bottom. Okay, so really quick, seller's market. We're in a seller's market if there's 1 to 3 months of inventory, homes on the market. We're in a neutral market if there's 4 to 5 months of inventory. And we're in a buyer's market if there's 6 or more months of inventory. And again, inventory is months of supply. It's homes on the market. Okay, so let me clear all of this out. Okay, you guys, look at Los Angeles County is officially in a neutral market at 4 months of inventory, 4 months of supply, down 13% from last year. And they made it. We were watching it because last month, June was 3.8. Oh my gosh, Los Angeles County is now officially in a neutral market. Okay. Riverside County, 3.8. In June, they were at 3.9. We were also watching this one, so it went down a little bit. Okay, they're playing with our hearts here. And if we could see all across the board, year over year, months of supply has went down in the double-digit numbers, too. Let's take a look at Riverside County, 4.7. I don't know why it reminded me of 6, 7. I have young kids. And am around young kids too. But wow. So neutral market, they've been here for a couple months. Orange County, look at them slowly creeping up. Will they or won't they? Orange County's really been staying in a seller's market, and they're still in a seller's market. So we shall see. Let's keep watching. Okay, guys, Michelle's Market Tea. Let's sip the tea and let's see what has going on. Let's do a quick recap. Buyer activity, we see that they're looking. Buyers are still out there. Inventory, there's more choices. Sales activity, there's fewer commitments. We're seeing that. Pricing power, prices are still holding. And supply and demand, we are more in a balanced market. Buyers are still out there. They're just taking more time before saying yes to the address. Month over month, activity shifted differently across the counties. But compared with last year, buyers are touring more homes before writing an offer. They have more options. They're comparing carefully, and fewer are rushed into a decision. So for buyers, more choice gives you more room to compare, but the right home still requires a clear path. And heads up, this is county by county. Right now I'm talking to buyers. This is county to county. Real estate is local, so real estate is going to change depending on the city. And when we niche down to the neighborhood, location. If you guys want to know specifically in the areas that you're looking in, the neighborhoods and things like that, check out the description. I can help you guys really get a feel of what the market is, because although we do these monthly market updates to get a feel, it's still local, because if we look at the news usually talks about the national, sometimes the state. we're dialing down month by month, and we're looking at actual numbers and we're seeing them change. There's a service that I do offer, which is to help you really get to know the neighborhoods that you're looking in, because it's going to matter when you are writing offers. It's going to matter when you're looking at homes and deciding what your plan is. So that's really important. Okay. And then for sellers, showings still matter. They always do. But if buyers tour and they don't act, price, condition, or value may be the message. So we always want to take a look at it. Or if you're going to have a listing up, you want to watch the market week by week. I do weekly market updates for all of my listings. If you guys want to check out more information about that, take a look at the description, and I can definitely help with that as well. So if you guys have been around for a while, you guys know what my claim to fame is, right? Hi, my name is Michelle, and I help you save time, money, and I help make the process smooth. That is me. I've been in business now for 16 years, and all of those things are things that people have told me. My niche is around things that really make me stand out. And I think the big one, all of them are important, but I think the big one, because this is such a big investment, a lot of times real estate is someone's retirement. Real estate is someone's big ticket to make their next move, whether it's out of state or whatnot. And so you definitely want to find someone that's reputable and that does a really good job. It knows what they're doing. Smooth process is super important, but there are different ways where you can save money, and I know what they are. So lots of options. You guys, if you're interested in scheduling a call with me today, check the links in the description. Thank you guys so much for being here. Tell me what you think about this market update. I'm really excited. I was really excited creating it and to present it for you. I hope that you could feel my energy. For my subscribers, thank you so much for always being here. For my new people, what's up? Subscribe, follow. I'll have more other videos coming out very, very, very soon. There's one particular video that someone has been asking me to make, which is talk about what it's like to buy a house and not get your offer accepted, because that's very frustrating. A lot of times people on social media depict, yay, I got my offer accepted, I got the house, but they don't depict like the struggle and the war you got to fight, before getting there, right? There's blood, sweat, and tears behind it. So Michelle, talk about that. I'm going to make that video coming up soon. If you guys are not subscribed, subscribe so that you'll get notified as soon as that video is posted. And you guys take lots of care, and I will see you on the next video. Have a great week. Bye.